Good evening, everyone. How are you? Just checking my microphone. It's been a while. I hope everyone in the chat is having a good start to the week. It's been a little while though. I've been away, 4 days, 5 days, had been really sick over the weekend, and unfortunately, I had to give up doing my Sunday night. And I got offered doing last night as well in replace of Trish, and I had to turn that down as well. I just wasn't up to it. It just I didn't want to put a bad product out, and it would have been me sitting here going, "Oh, I feel sick." So I didn't think that was a good idea. Thought it was better just to walk away. But it is good to see everyone in the chat. Danny Mitchell is here. Oh my god, the presence of a superstar. I mean, how does that work? And Diane Marie is here. Guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My cat was trying to eat my other cat's food. Marilyn Landis is here. Woos is here. Danny Mitchell, of course. And Vegemite Smile. Who else is here? Amy, Marilyn, uh, Nancy S. Hey, Nancy S. How are you? Laura G. Everyone's here. Kelly in Texas is here. And so is Petunia. It is good to see everyone. Woos, what is going on at your place? Let's have a look. Where did she say that? Yeah. She says, I had a scare Monday morning about 5:20 a.m. Knock on the door, man standing in the middle of the driveway saying, he's not going to hurt me, wants help. I said no and shut the door. He walked away. That is very, very scary. I don't know what that could have been. It sounds like a home invasion or something like that. Someone trying to lure you out. Uh, so if you don't know what's going on in Melbourne and Australia right now, there is a nationwide uh, outage of cellular and internet right now. It literally goes into every state. Every state's down. I think it's just starting to come back up, but it's been down since 5 a.m. So I'm going to show you quickly how bad it is. So you can see here they're talking about it on the Daily Mail. It's these little red dots indicate where it's out, and it's out just like Australia wide, been like that since about 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and half of Australia has no cell or internet right now. But I'm not one of them, otherwise I wouldn't be here. Luckily, I am not part of that telecom. But as you guys can see as well, the website no longer is white. It is now black. You will not get a bright white sort of, glare when I go onto web pages. From now on, it'll be white. So when we go into a story, just say this one, it will be black. So you guys won't have to worry about if you're watching at night or something like that. You guys can keep watching and not get blinded. There you go. It is now dark colored. Uh, Let me see what everyone is up to and then we'll get going. Danny Mitchell says, did anyone watch the behavior panel? It is on my list of things to do. I haven't done it yet, but I will. LA says, solar flare or EMP. We don't know the cause of it yet, but I think they're going to find out at some point. Good to see you, LA, as well. Beth B's here. Hey, Beth B. Hi, darling. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you have been well. Robin Lane's here as well. Lynn D. Who else did I miss? Marlene Clausen is here as well. Hi, everyone's here. I'm glad everyone is here. All right, there is a lot going on in the world of true crime right now. I've got like 50 stories we could do for real, but I really want to do this one first. Where is it? This one. A missing 12-year-old boy in Sullivan County, Pennsylvania. So we're going to talk about that. I just want to get my camera set up. Hey guys, good to see you. Oh, you can't see my hand. There you go. Hey, how's it going? You can see my back of my computer and the cushion that stops the microphone from crashing into the monitor. There you guys go. I'm going to have to fix that, but that's okay. Um, yes, so we have, unfortunately, a 12-year-old boy missing. This little fellow here is a photo of him. It says Pennsylvania State Police are looking for a missing boy in Sullivan County. They are searching for 12-year-old Lauren Montgomery from Dunshaw. He was last seen near his residence Monday at 1173 SR 220 in Cherry Township around 11:30 a.m. when he was picked up by a friend in the area he left without a cell phone. How do 12-year-olds have friends that have cars? I want to know how that works. And it says here he's described as 5'2", approximately 100 pounds, with blue eyes and short brown hair. He could be in the Towanda area. If anyone has information, they are asked to contact PSP at 570 946 4610. There you go. That's about I don't have a ton of information on it other than this. It got sent to me by someone and they said, Ping, please make sure you say this. It's a missing kid. And I was like, okay, of course. Anytime we can help with a missing child. I just was having a bit of a snoop around before and I couldn't find a Amber Alert. And I thought that was interesting. They've done sort of an appeal, but no Amber Alert. And I was like, is that because it doesn't meet the criteria or because of some other reason? It just says state troopers are seeking the public's help in locating the 12-year-old boy. And I don't know why. Maybe they don't know the car's, license plate. If that's one of the conditions in this area, I'm not sure. Beth B says, love the black screen. Thank you, Ping. Thank you, Beth. I'm glad we got that fixed. I know a lot of people were annoyed with the white screen, so glad we could find a solution. That's sort of what I worked on when I wasn't here. I was working on little things like that to make your viewing experience better. Okay. Yep, that's all I have on him. If we get more, I will bring it to you, but I've checked around and that's about all there is. So I don't know. Even when you search his name, there's like 2 articles and that's it. But so there is I'll see if I can make this bigger. There you go. You guys can see a bigger photo. Oh, not that big. All right. Well, that's not what we want. There we go. You can kind of see a larger photo of him. Marlene Clausen says it sounds like they just want to know he is okay. Yeah, I guess that maybe could be it. Well, hopefully he gets in touch with or comes home. That would be really good for his family. Anytime a 12-year-old is sort of out there without any you know, supervision from his parents, I guess that is worrying. So, okay, hopefully we get an update about that shortly. I'm sure we will. Weirdly enough, I have another story about a 12-year-old, but this time in California. 12-year-old boy found shot to death on side of road in Canyon County. And I'll read a little bit and then we're going to watch the video up there. Let me mute that. A 12-year-old boy was found shot on the side of a road in Canyon County area of Santa Clarita on Monday. Deputies were sent to the San Canyon and Placerita Canyon roads around 6:30 a.m. for a shooting death investigation, according to a statement from Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Upon arrival, they found a body lying dead on the side of the road, suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. The victim was identified by the LACD medical examiner on Tuesday as 12-year-old Canyon County resident William Lemus Alea or Ayala. Initial reports indicate the body belonged to a male adult. But then, how is that? It's not a male adult. He's 12. There's no arrests are being made by investigators. It remains unclear if the boy was shot or where he was located or in a different area. Guess they're saying they're not sure where he was shot or if it was there or in a different location. Anyone with additional information is urged to contact homicide investigators at 323-890-5500. And there's a little video up here that we can watch about this. And maybe this will trigger someone's memory or something like that. Hold on.
Clarita, tonight we've learned the victim in a fatal shooting is a child.
Well, let's get right to assignment editor Mike Rogers on the desk now. Mike, what do you know?
Pat and Juan, usually when there's a homicide, the LA County Sheriff's Department will always give us a first kind of fresh press release saying what they know. And then there's always a follow-up, but there was never a follow-up on this one. So we went digging and we went to the LA County coroner. I want to come to my computer here. I'm going to show you the boy has been identified as Willianis Lemus Ayala. And I want to show you this because this is how they definitively determined it to be a homicide with the cause being a gunshot wound to the head. This 12-year-old boy found on the side of the road. I was able to get a hold of a lieutenant over at the Sheriff's Department. I want to show you the video of where he was found here yesterday. This was up Sand Canyon Road in Santa Clarita, but kind of up in the hills there, just found on the side of the road. Now, the lieutenant told me around 6:15 in the morning yesterday, somebody was just driving down the road and happened to notice his body. They called 911. The Sheriff's Department, as well as LA County Fire, arrived. They determined the boy to be dead. Now, I asked the lieutenant, do you think the boy was shot and killed here, or was he shot and killed somewhere else, and then the body was brought to here? He said that's exactly what they're trying to figure out and what they're trying to determine right now. Now, I also asked him if they have any motivation for all of this, any suspect in custody, anything like that. He tells me right now they're leaning towards the possibility that this may be a gang-related homicide. He said he can't tell me exactly why they're leaning that way, but that's something they're looking into. Meanwhile, they don't have any suspects. Pat and Juan, he also told me that they want really anybody who was in the area around that time yesterday morning, again, that's 6:15 on Sand Canyon, to give Sheriff's Homicide or Crime Stoppers a call. He said that even if the information seems meaningless to the person reporting it, anything could help them solve this boy's murder.
All right, let's hope they get some phone calls with some good.
If you heard just there, they said they are leaning towards possibly a gang-related murder at 12. That's insane. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I haven't heard of that before. I have, and it just shocks me every time I hear about it. 12 years old and they die via gang violence. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, I can't imagine what his, loved ones, even if he was a kid of the street, I'm sure he's got loved ones out there for sure. A mom is somewhere, even if she's not around anymore, a dad, someone loved that kid for sure. Hold on. Someone sent me an email. Oh, it's Wooz. Wooz sent me photos of a cat. Okay. Wooz, I'll do them at the end. If that's okay. I will do that for you. Yeah, I don't really have much more on this one either, but I thought it was important because it's so abnormal for a child to have his body found in that kind of situation with a gunshot wound to the side of the head. And it was early in the morning. So that kid was out overnight for sure at some point and obviously dumped on the side of the road. I mean, I don't know this area very well, although I do recognize the Canyon County area and I know Santa Clarita, but I don't know the area that well in particular. But yeah, if I hear anything more about suspects or even family, if we hear like something from his family, I will revisit this particular case. I just want to search his name. Hold on. Yeah, I don't really see much, right? I see like a couple of Facebook pages, an update about the ID of who it was, but nothing really like about who his parents were or whether he had any family at all, It just says coroner IDs 12-year-old boy found dead in Sand Canyon. And that was from santaclarita.com. Yeah, I don't really have much more here. It says here, homicide detectives confirmed Tuesday that the death of a boy whose body was found on the side of Sand Canyon Road with gunshot wounds Monday morning is being investigated for possible connections to gang activity. Medical examiners released the identity of the 12-year-old Canyon County boy on Tuesday, whose name is being withheld from this story due to ongoing safety concerns associated with the incident. Lieutenant Arturo Spencer, who is in charge of the investigation, declined to state any specifics about the victim or the possible circumstances surrounding the death, or to say definitively it is related to gangs. He said the information detectives have so far is preliminary in asking the public for help. He said, "We're not going to say that the victim is directly involved with gangs. We're investigating the case and looking at it as being potentially gang related. That's all I can say." He confirmed that no suspect information is available at this time. No one has been arrested and no one has been identified as a suspect. We don't have a motive either. We're still in the early stages of the investigation, and we're urging the public to provide any information they can glean from any leads. That's very sad. They said that if you do have information, you can contact the Homicide Bureau. I think it's the same number we gave before, 323-890-5500. And you never know who's listening. We have a lot of people from California on our channel. I'll keep an eye on this. I'll put his name on my alerts, and if something else arrives in my alerts, I'll bring it back to you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Lindy says they may recruit children as young as 9, knowing that the judicial system is more lenient on younger children and that thus younger members can be sacrificed on riskier jobs for the gang. I have heard that before. Hey, Uda. Uda's here. Hey, good to see you. Marilyn Landis. Hey, Marilyn Landis. And Mel Mack. And Harley's here. Hey, Harley. Good to see you. Harley says, that is scary. Yeah, it is pretty scary. LA says, even these young murderers wasted lives. Yeah, I mean, 12 should be going to like high school next year, not dead in a gutter. Hey, James Avery. Good to see you. Just checking. I don't want to miss anyone. Hey, Gambler. Good to see you as well. I saw you earlier. Sorry, I forgot your name in the original shoutouts. Hey, Sienna. I Hate Morning says the old-fashioned stay-at-home watch and phone tree sure help kids keep under control. Having a village helps. My grandkids have many working at home parents and they know each other. Yeah, I think having those communities back in the day where, it may not have been your mom, but your neighbor who was sort of like a, surrogate mom kept an eye on you, and if you were stepping out of line or whatever, she'd kick your butt and tell you to go home, or stick around your older sibling, stay close to the house, come home when the lights come on, that type of stuff. And I think some of that has been lost nowadays for sure. Okay, well, look, it's a shame I don't have more information about that. It really is, but I will keep it in my alerts for everyone. It's far out. People making all sorts of noise around here today. Let me find another story. Here's the other one I wanted to talk about. Woman found dead in trunk of car leads to arrest in Huntington Beach. There's the photo of the car. An Arizona man was arrested on suspicion of murder in the death of a woman whose body was found in the trunk of a car outside a residence in Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach Caliph, an Arizona man. Yep, we know that. Around 5:15 p.m., officers with the Huntington Beach Police Department responded to reports of a family disturbance at the residence on 1700 block of Frimmel Lane. When officers arrived at the scene, they were met with the chilling sight of the lifeless body of a woman who had been found in the trunk of a car, prompting investigators to deem that she died under suspicious circumstances. Detectives from the HBPD Crimes Against Persons Unit arrived promptly to take control of the situation. They were joined by officials from the Orange County District Attorney's Office and the Orange County Sheriff's Department. As a result of their investigations and interviews, a 34-year-old Richard Paul Rodriguez from Holbrook, Arizona, was arrested and charged with 1 count of murder. There's a photo of Richard Paul right there. and you can see him. The victim was identified by police in Arizona as Christy Lynn Romero, 54. The investigation into the incident remains active and further details are yet to be released. Anyone with information connected to this case was asked to contact Detective S. McCollum at 714-960-8848. Alternatively, you can choose to remain anonymous by reaching out to the OC Crime Stoppers at 1-855-TIP-OCCS, or it's 1-855-847-6227. Oh, that was a lot of numbers. Yeah. Body found in the dead. Body found in the dead. No. Body found in the trunk of a car, dead. That is awful. And how did that happen? Did he strangle her or something? There's the car that they found her body in. Sounds all a bit weird. Like, did he just dump her body or something? It's a. I want to see what you guys have to say. If anyone is local and heard this on the news or something. What am I not going to mention? I don't mention everything. What is it? I'm trying to see what Woos is talking about. The car hitting several people. Oh, in Australia, the car that hit people the other day. We might talk about it. There was a whole bunch of people who were unfortunately hurt and killed when a car hit them during the long weekend. I can show you guys in a little bit if you want. Hold on. I'm just trying to find a thing for it. Yeah, Dalesford Pub. Is that the one we're talking about, Woos? Yeah, I can show you a little bit here. Dalesford Pub crash. Driver's side of the story is revealed for the first time. Let's see if we can find a background on it, though. Here. It says here, the lawyer for a 66-year-old driver who crashed into a busy Victorian country pub, killing 5 members of 2 young families, says his client had a diabetic attack. An out-of-control BMW X5 driven by the 66-year-old Mount Macedon man crashed into the beer garden of the Royal Hotel at Dalesford about 6:05 p.m. on Sunday. Young boy Vian Bhatia, 11, was killed alongside his father Vivek, 38, and family friends Pratibha Sharma and Jatin Chugh, 30, and Miss Sharma's daughter Anvi, 9. Witnesses at the scene claim the driver appeared to have suffered a medical episode with his eyes glazed over. Tests found the driver did not have any drugs or alcohol in his system at the time. On Wednesday, the man's lawyer, Martin Ahmed, confirmed that the horror incident was triggered by a medical episode. So you can see here the outside of the pub where the car crashed into, people sitting along the outside here. And there's sort of like the aftermath. You can see all the medic supplies on the bottom of the floor after they tried to work on people. Very sad to have some very young people die. It says here the driver is deeply distressed and feels great empathy with the families and the friends of the victims and of the wider Dalesford community. He says, my client is 66-year-old family man who has no criminal history. He returned a negative alcohol reading at the scene. He is an insulin-dependent diabetic and required immediate treatment by paramedics at the scene. He remains in hospital at the time. Mr. Ahmed described the incident as a terrible tragedy. My client has been interviewed by Victoria Police. He has not been charged with any offence. It is anticipated the investigation will take some time. The Dalesford pub is about 90 minutes drive northwest of Melbourne, was packed with hundreds of customers in the hours before the crash due to the unofficial long weekend before Tuesday's Melbourne Cup public holiday. Victorian police confirmed 4 people were killed at the scene of the crash and another died in hospital in the hours after. Several more were injured. One woman described to the Daily Mail Australia the horror of seeing the car barreling towards the cluster of busy tables. She says it was just an explosion and there were bodies everywhere. Police confirmed those killed in the crash were from two families who were friends and visiting the region at the time. There's a photo of some of the victims, and there are, different people within their family. It's very sad. It says here, um, Vian Bardia and his father Vivek, top left. I'm guessing that's the adult male here, and the adult child, Vivek, top left, bottom right. So the adult male here, and unfortunately the older young child male here, with two that died. And Abia, the mother also died, unfortunately, and then the other one, the little son here, remains in hospital right now. How sad. There's another photo of them. Pratibha Sharma, right, and her 9-year-old daughter left were killed in the crash. These two unfortunately died in the crash that took place at Dalesford. It's very horrible. The mother and daughter were very close, with the 9-year-old writing her mum a beautiful note congratulating her on passing her bar exam in June. His family has reportedly sat down at the table less than a minute before the crash. Wow, that's one of those sliding door moments, isn't it? Like a minute before tragedy, moments before, horrible things happen. How horrible. I can't imagine what it's like to have witnessed that or been involved with it. Just trying to have a bit of fun on the 4-day unofficial long weekend. Horrible. I don't know what's going to happen next. It doesn't seem like one of those, like the ones that happened in Melbourne where people deliberately drove into people. This seems like it could be a tragic accident with a man suffering that diabetic attack and careering into people. So very, 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 very sad. Unfortunate, unfortunate location. If he was like 100 meters down the road, he may have crashed into a house but not actually hurt anyone. It's just one of those awful kind of situation things that happen in life. I mean, what else could they do? They could build a barrier around the pub, so if someone did that again, it crashed it into concrete instead of people. I mean, like bollards they could put up. Horrible. Hey, Emily Narb, how are you? Wu says, my brother and his wife were at the exact spot a few months ago. Yeah, I think the Dalesford pub is quite popular with day trippers out to the region. People who either go up there for the day or the weekend and kind of spend some time in the local area for a day away from the city. So it's quite popular, especially on a long weekend. It would have been packed, like they said. Okay. Hold on. Someone messaging poor old Ping. Give me 1 second, people. 1 second. Breaking news. Hold on. It turned itself off again. It keeps doing that. Silly thing. There we go. I'm back. This microphone turns itself off all of a sudden. I don't know why it did that. Every time I flick out of the page, sometimes it'll turn itself completely mute, even though I didn't mute it on the live stream. Ugh. Hold on, let me see. No, I was trying to talk to you guys about Daylesford and how it was probably really busy for the Melbourne Cup, and that the Melbourne Cup is sort of like the Kentucky Derby, but in Australia, or like what's that one in America? In England, Ascot. Is it the Ascot one in England that they do the horse races in June? So sort of similar to those type of things. So. It's just a big horse race, very prestigious, and there's a cup and that type of stuff. All right, hold on. I have another thing we got to catch up on. I don't have anything about Erin Patterson. She is safely tucked away in a jail somewhere in Melbourne. Dame Ellis Frost, or whatever it's called down here. She is safely tucked away in a cell, waiting for next year. She'll be back next time. What is it, May next year? May 9th? Yeah, she'll be back next year. Where is this? Yeah, we could do this one. We could do this one. San Francisco man, 23, is arrested after he murdered and decapitated his grandmother, whose head was found days later in a creek. What on earth? It says here, Luis Gustavo Arroyo Lopez is accused of decapitating his grandmother, 64. Lopez was released from state prison a day before the alleged murder. It is believed that he fled the scene with the victim's head in his possession. What the hell? The grandson of a woman who was discovered with her head cut off inside her San Francisco home has been arrested and charged with murder. Luis Gustavo Arroyo Lopez, 23, is accused of brutally killing his grandmother, Elvia Lopez Arroyo, inside her Pomo Trail property in Santa Rosa, and then fleeing the scene. Cops responded to the possible homicide last Thursday and found Elvia had been decapitated, but her head was nowhere to be found at the time. Prosecutors claim Lopez, who lives in Santa Rosa, killed Elvia in a targeted attack before leaving the residence with her head. He was spotted by San Francisco Police Department patrol officers near the Trans Bay Transit Center 2 days after cops announced that he was wanted in relation to the death. Here's a photo of him. It's an interesting bowl cut he's got. It's very Justin Bieber or something like that. Not as attractive as Justin Bieber. There's his grandmother, unfortunately. There's a victim. It's very horrible. What did his grandmother ever do to him? And there's the home it happened at. The suspect was taken into custody on a homicide charge in San Francisco on Saturday and was later transported to the Sonoma County Main Adult Detention Facility. Arroyo Lopez, a 23-year-old resident of Santa Rosa and blood relative of the victim, killed the victim in a targeted attack before leaving the scene with the female victim's head, according to detectives. Police say multiple weapons were discovered inside the home in the 500 block of Pomo Trail, where Elvia lives, and was found dead. Elvia's head was recovered on the south bank of Santa Rosa Creek near the Prince Memorial Greenway on Saturday night. The accused has a violent criminal history. He was recently released from state prison on November 1st. Police said he was placed on a post-release community supervision. Okay, there's nothing else after that? Police added that he was previously in prison for assault with a deadly weapon, weapons possession charges, and though unrelated to the victim in this incident. Okay, he has a 420 marijuana tattoo on the side of his head. Okay. Whatever floats your boat, I guess, buddy. In his mugshot, Arroyo Lopez is seen with a large 420 tattoo, which is paired with a marijuana leaf on the side of his head. Maribel Maldonado, another grandson of Elvia, established a GoFundMe page for her funeral costs. She was a loving person and she was adored dearly by all her grandchildren. She didn't deserve what was done to her. Don't come for me, that's what's written. Her death has impacted our family greatly, and we are seeking for help during this time of despair, it says. Arroyo Lopez faces charges of murder and violating post-release community supervision for a previous crime. He was not granted bail and remains in custody. A lieutenant with the Santa Rosa Police Department told CBS that it's significant to have this kind of incident happen where someone was very recently released from prison. To make the effort from Bakersfield to come directly to Santa Rosa with an apparent motive to kill a family member is significant. A neighbor identified as Jessica claimed she saw Lopez on the day of the brutal crime. He just walked a normal pace and made an exact turn up the driveway and knocked on the door. I paused over here with my dog just to make sure my neighbor knew who he was. She was surprised and happy, and I heard the words, "you." They were just, talking, and then the door closed, and I thought, phew, she knows the guy. 3 hours later, Jessica heard a woman yelling, "No head," and frantically running out of the house. That's the end of the article. Oh my God. Someone yelled, "No head," and then ran out of the house. It's like a horror movie. It really is. Jesus, what is going on in the world where people do this? I wonder if the detective is right that it is unusual to have someone released from prison and then go directly to a relative's house and kill them. I wonder what the percentages are sort of like how many crimes of that nature have happened in the past. And is it something they need to look out for in the future? Robin Lane says at least it's not Florida this time. And it's not a Florida man, no. It's not even a Texas man. It's a San Francisco man. LA says, too many too often, let out prisons and enough prevention. Marilyn Landis says, why did they release him from prison? It didn't say. I'm guessing he probably got close to the end of his sentence and they released him on a supervision order. Let me see what this is. Hold on. Where's that supervision thing? In relation, nope. Here, post-release communities PRCS. Let's see what that is. Okay. A post-release community supervision is a form of supervision provided to an inmate who has been released from a California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation Institute to the jurisdiction of a county agency. What the hell? I guess that's just like parole. I'm just trying to figure out what it actually is. Oh, okay. It says they have to undertake a release program study process involving PSAs, correctional counselors, case records, staff, PRCS county probation staff, chief of mental health. It's sort of like it says here, so it can achieve a smooth transition for the inmate from prison to probation. Yeah, so it's like parole. Similar. Says here the Penal Code Section 3451 states all inmates released from prison on or after October 1, 2011 after serving a prison term for a felony, and if eligible upon release from prison, shall be subject to supervision provided by a county agency. Once released to PRCS, the inmate is discharged from CDCR. The inmate is no longer under CDCR's jurisdiction. So it's just a changeover process from a released inmate, but I cannot find out why he was released. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't say. Just says that he was released. Let me look. Here, maybe this one's got a better explanation. I just want to pause this video. There we go. Here, it says here. Okay. It says Lopez is on post-release community supervision after being released from state prison for assault with a deadly weapon and weapons possession, a case unrelated to the murder. He currently has an active warrant. Okay, no, that one doesn't have it either. It just says he was released. I guess he got close to the end of his sentence, and they just put him on the PRCS, like to keep an eye on him. It didn't work because he went and murdered his grandmother. So, yeah, did not work. Actually, we have another video here. Maybe this one's got more information.
Or perhaps the work of drug cartels, but this happened on an ordinary street in Santa Rosa where a woman in her 60s was found beheaded in her own home. Police think it was someone in her own family who did it. They say he's still on the run tonight, and what's even more disturbing, he may still have the victim's head with him. Our Andrea Nakano talked with a neighbor who might have witnessed the victim's final encounter with her killer.
This is a crime that has shocked this neighborhood. Many of the neighbors around here say that this is relatively a safe and quiet area. Now the question is, why did this happen? Jessica lives near the home where a Santa Rosa woman was found dead. She's concerned the suspect might return to the area and didn't want us to show her face.
I just can't believe anyone would do that to her.
Jessica says she saw Luis Arroyo Lopez walking towards her neighbor's home around noon on Thursday.
He just walked at a normal pace, made an exact turn up their walkway, and knocked normally on the door. And I paused over here with my dog because I didn't know who this guy was, and just to make sure that my neighbor knew who he was.
She overheard the two talking, and nothing about the conversation alarmed her.
I heard them talking, and she was like surprised and happy. And I heard like the word "you," and they were just, talking about it. And then the door closed, and I thought, oh, she knows the guy.
Then 3 hours later, Jessica heard a friend of the victim frantically running out of the house.
She kept yelling, "No head," and I wasn't sure what she meant.
The head of the victim was missing from the scene. Jessica says the victim's friend went in and out of the house looking for the head. Moments later, a family member arrived.
And the lady told me, my sister is not dead. My sister's dead.
Police say Arroyo Lopez is a relative of the victim and just got out of prison after serving time for assault with a deadly weapon against someone else.
To have this kind of incident happen where someone was very recently released from prison to make the effort from Bakersfield to come directly to Santa Rosa with the apparent motive to just kill a family member is significant.
Neighbors are telling us Lopez is the grandson of the woman, but that has not been confirmed. Investigators want to know why this happened.
I know that we've been reaching out to CDC to see if there's any correspondence that they can help us out with that may give us a tip to why this is happening. And then we're working with the family to see if there's anything that been some sort of feud or something else that may have led to this violence.
It's like, how did he get in? Was she involved with sending him to jail? We don't know if this is revenge or just wacko.
Santa Rosa police say if you see this man, to call 911. They found a weapon inside the home, but still consider Lopez to be armed and dangerous.
Well, as we know, they did catch him. So, you know, glad he's behind bars. Hey AJ, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Reby, hi everyone. I will be ghosting today, out doing stuff and listening. Hope everyone is well and happy. Hey Reby, good to see you. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out more if his crime goes to trial. We'll probably hear a bit more about anything else. But how horrible. I don't know what is with everyone's. It must be in vogue for killers. It's like the summer of 2023, beheadings and decapitations are the new vogue for serial killers. Just like black portable bags are. Because there was a whole thing about um, bodies being found in portable black sports bags like 2 months ago. They're like, there was 3 in one weekend. It's I don't know where they get these ideas from. Somehow they seem to talk to each other. Gambler says, "Ping, does it feel like you've been going for 2 hours? According to YouTube, you have. They seem to screw it up often. I don't think we've been going for 2 hours. I don't believe so. I think we've been going for about 38 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. I think about that long. Not 2 hours. No. I want to thank, while we were in the video, I heard a beeping, and it was my friend Beth B. Beth B sent in a donation. Beth B, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been a rough 4 days, and that is very, very kind of you. I really appreciate it. Guys, hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, didn't mean to cut that short. Maybe there's thunderstorms coming over where I live. All of a sudden, I heard all this noise outside. I'm just having a look. Oh, there is. That's what the noise is. There's a row of thunderstorms firing up just over my place right now. That's what all that noise was. Yes, again, Beth B, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And to the people who help fund this channel and this coverage to get more shows like last week, where we did 2 live shows in 1 day covering breaking news. Can't do it without you. I really appreciate it. AJ says, what city in Australia? In Melbourne. Harley says, Emily, when ping started, it also indicated 2 hours. I don't know why it does that. It's very odd. Yeah, it says about 40 minutes on mine too. All right. Let me get one more story for you guys. Maybe 2 more. I have several from the 4 days off. So just got to load it up. Oh, yeah. This is one I had for my Sunday show. We have to talk about this. I'm sure you have seen this in the papers. Cops appeal for Chinese woman who fled to Beijing to dodge homicide charges to return to the US after Porsche she was driving smashed into a ditch and killed a passenger during high-speed crash. Check this out. Before we talk about who she is and what she did, watch this. By the way, it's warning, it's crazy, whatever. Watch this car. It is flying. It's like a movie. It really is. Look at that. It did more turns than Simone Biles on the ramp. Oh, don't do that. Let me reboot that. Because that's just crazy. I want to slow this down. Look at this. Look at she hits this. That's the point that she hits the concrete barrier, and that car just takes off. She's going that fast. Her brakes, you can see all the black on the concrete, like the skid marks. Just cannot get any grip because of the speed, and she just flips this thing like some sort of gymnastic move. Really is. She's just flying. I don't get it. Why drive like this? Just absolutely being look at the smoke coming off when she loses control. Look at that. Those tires are screeching. It's brutal. It really is, guys. That's the point, if it wasn't already, when you're sliding out of control, where you're like, OF, my life is flashing before my eyes right here, right there. And you're like, I don't know if I'll live through this. Could be over. It might be the last thing I ever see, for real. It's just irresponsible. Ugh, I can't, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, this is her. This is Ting Ye. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. My Chinese is not very good. Said there's a nationwide warrant for her arrest, but she has fled to China. She has a bail set at $2 million, and they believe she went to Canada and then China, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'll read it. It says police in Washington State are pleading for the driver who crashed her Porsche on a Washington State freeway while allegedly drunk, to return to the US. A nationwide warrant has been issued for Ting Ye, 26, or Ting He, who has been charged with vehicle I'm not going to pronounce this, vehicle homicide. There you go. With bail set at $2 million. She quickly fled to her home country of China before she could be apprehended by police. She is accused of killing her passenger, 27-year-old Yabio Liu, after she lost control of the high-performance car. She traveled at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. Now, I heard she was in hospital in a medical ward and she slipped out before police could arrest her and take her to the station. And then she traveled to Canada and then back to China. It says here the accident sent the Porsche 911 flying into the air and saw it flipping several times before it came to rest on bushes on September 30. Traffic camera footage shows the tremendous speed she was traveling near 108th Avenue. Police say they believe she was driving under the influence of alcohol. They're saying Liu and Ye had to be removed from the heavily damaged vehicle. It's unclear what their relationship was. There's a photo of her. I hope they have the bit about the hospital. According to documents, a first responder noted the strong odor of alcohol coming from the defendant's breath. Bellevue police believe Ye was released from Harborview Medical Center with minor injuries before she crossed the international border into Canada and fleeing to China. Her flight came just days before the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office filed charges of vehicle homicide with a warrant for her arrest. Because she is no longer in the country, Ye's case has been escalated and handed over to the U.S. Department of Justice. There is no extradition treaty between the U.S. and China, meaning Beijing is not obligated to force her to return to America for court proceedings. So I don't think China will, although they will try very hard to put pressure on China, but I can't imagine they'll do anything. She'll be free to live in China, but from what I understand, they are going to Interpol red notice her, and if she tries to travel to any other country in the world, she will be nabbed by Interpol and returned to the US. So basically, she's trapped in China for the rest of her life. Yeah, I don't know how she got out of the crash without with minor injuries, but she killed her friend. Her friend probably took the brunt of the impact when she hit that concrete barrier. I'm guessing the friend copped it and she didn't. She was on the other side of the car, so she didn't cop the full force of basically coming to a stop. Harley says, "What's GTA? Grand Theft Auto is GTA." Amy says, "Irresponsible and deadly." I agree. I just how do you drive like that? I mean, especially with a friend in the car. It's just like you want to death wish. Apparently, it's apparently what you want. Lux is here. Hey, Lux. Lux says mine started 54 minutes ago. I think Gambler has a broken YouTube. You have a broken YouTube, Gambler. You're gonna have to take it to the YouTube police and then get them to reset it, and they'll fix it for you. Lynn D says minor injuries. I know, right? How? I don't understand. Yet her friend was like killed instantly. I hate morning says the drunk ones usually aren't hurt very much. Maybe because her body went loose, but I still think it's where the car crashed. It crashed on the passenger side, and I think they took all the G-force on it. So, AJ says ping the comments aren't pinning, aren't they? Let me see. Sometimes it freezes on me. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if we can fix it. Sometimes if I click like 100 of them, it'll come back. Is it coming back? Yeah, there we go. All right, now it's coming back. Sienna says, "Oh, so she being drunk lived, but her passenger didn't." Yeah, is there a photo? Hold on. Let me show you what I mean. I think this is the right side, right? Okay. I hope this is right. This is the side that yes. This is the side that crashed into the concrete barricade, I think, judging by that photo and then to this car. You can just see that it's more damaged, like more smashed in on this side, I think, because it hits that concrete strip right here. That's what makes them flip. And you would think if this is that's got to be the passenger side, right? Or am I thinking in Australian driving? That's the passenger. And then the passenger hit that concrete bollard. So I'm thinking all the force went through that door. So if that's where the passenger was, they copped all the negative G-force through that door. As where she was on this side, and her friend absorbed a lot of the impact into her and not into her. The flipping and all that doesn't really tend to kill people. It's the sudden stopping into things like this concrete. That's what kills people. Flipping around and that doesn't really tend to kill people. It's just that's where you get the minor injuries from. Let's see. Yeah, so if you flip this car onto this way, it looks like that. So I'm guessing that's the right way. That's the driver's side. I'm thinking Australian. Okay. I don't have a view of the other side. Whatever the side was, you would think it would be the person, her friend that copped the impact. Hold on. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. Let's see if we have a better photo of it. No, is that the only photo from the shop? No. It's interesting though, because the damage is all on that side. There's like nothing here. The car looks fine on this one. This one's like missing a tire and a friggin' drum axle, like a brake axle and all that kind of stuff. Brake axle? Like a brake cylinder. It's missing. There's just like nothing there. Hold on, let's have a look. It's not the same car. That's a rally car. You can't fool me. You can't fool me, Mr. Video. All right, let's have a look. So that's them there. So she'd be on that side. Jeez, you can't even see that. Look at that. I can barely see that. I have to slow it down so much. It's gone. It's like one frame. Trying to see if it is that passenger side that hits that car. It's really hard to see with the way the car is. So that would be the left-hand side of the car. So what's the left-hand side of the car in America? Is that the driver's side still or the passenger? You guys can tell me. Because I'm not American. Okay, Mr. Oh yes. Let's see. That's the driver's side in the US. I don't know how she got out of it then, and the passenger lived. See, the only thing I can think of is that the other passenger copped the brunt of the impact, but I don't get it. Sienna says maybe the passenger didn't have a seatbelt. I didn't see anything about that, but it's a possibility. I mean, they were potentially drinking, I guess. That's what, at least one of them was drunk. Look, there's a wheel that's missing. You know, I said the wheel's missing. It's on the roof. Jeez, they really messed that car up. Let me see if I can find anything else about the friend. 100 miles an hour. The vehicle hit the barrier and was actually thrown into the air and hit the side of the bridge where it came to rest. Hit the side of the bridge. Hit the side of that bridge. Police also say that Ye was discharged from the hospital. We know that. He said, "We were not notified by hospital personnel. My understanding is that she was not going to be released anytime soon due to her injuries. So we were under the assumption she was going to remain at the hospital for some time." Oh, someone screwed up. The warrant was not yet in the system. She was not at that point not prohibited from leaving the country, so there was a delay. We have another video here.
A warrant for to an area.
Actually, we can watch that. Maybe that's got a better explanation.
Look closely at that flash on your screen. It's a white Porsche that Bellevue police say was driven by 26-year-old Ting Ye on September 30th around 4 in the morning. Traffic cameras capture the moment that vehicle hit a cement barricade and went airborne. Investigators say Ye, the driver, survived. Her passenger, 27-year-old Yabu Lu, died. Court records allege Ye did not cooperate with investigators and has since fled to her home country of China.
The story is not over. Yes, she was able to elude the arrest warrant because the warrant for her arrest was issued almost over a month after the fatality. But if she were to ever travel to another country, let's say in Europe on business or pleasure, to an area, to a country that does have an extradition treaty with the United States, she'll be flagged when she enters into that country by Interpol and then subject to an extradition back to the United States if the United States government so desires.
Former Washington governor and former U.S. ambassador to China, Gary Locke, points to the lack of an extradition treaty between the two countries. Bellevue police believe Ye was released from the hospital, crossed into Canada, and fled to China days before the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office filed a charge of vehicular homicide, a case that's since been turned over to the Department of Justice, quickly becoming a political issue rather than a legal matter.
Is the United States willing to bargain with the Chinese government to get them to send this person back here? And what is it that the Chinese government might want in return for something like that?
The victim of the accident, 27-year-old Yabu Lu, is also a Chinese national with family in China. It is possible that his family may seek legal remedies within their country's justice system. In the studio, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.
Doesn't make it any better, hearing the explanation from it, does it? It makes it seem worse, and her actions are disgusting, really. I mean, I get the whole wanting to protect your own kind of situation, but and she might even like, well, they're dead anyway. Might as well save my own life, but still, I don't know. How can you have no morals to just be like, let me flee and leave my friend dead in another country? Disgusting. It really is. I can't handle people who drink drive either. It's a really selfish thing to do, especially and speeding like this. You want to speed like that, go to a racetrack or whatever. And like, I love cars. I love fast cars. I like people drag racing, but this is just irresponsible, especially if you don't have a handle of that car at that power. I mean, that shows that she didn't. Anyway, I think that's all about all we're going to glean from this. I would like to know more about the passenger. I really would. Yo, 27-year-old Yabao or Yabo. Let's have a look. Can't really see anything else. Hold on. Apparently, documents report that Ye refused to provide police with information about Liu. Police were able to find the Chinese company he worked for to notify his family. So she wouldn't even give his information to police so they could get the body back to the family. I mean, that's, worse. It says here, Bellevue police said someone helped Ye cross over the Canadian border where she got on a plane to China. Police said the person who helped her could face consequences and are currently investigating. That makes sense. She wouldn't have been able to do it alone with how injured she was. Yeah, I don't see anything else about the friend, unfortunately. That's very sad. Somehow the idiots always survive and the other people always die. It seems to be the way it is. And then she'll probably live the rest of her life in China and never come out from the Chinese thing. Like the Chinese country. She'll never leave. Or she'll just get a fake document. Lindy says the truth is police were too slow and that is why she escaped. That too. I mean, they should have had her chained to her hospital bed under police guard if they thought that she was, what do you call it? Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to read two things at once. Come on, hold on. They're not updating again? I keep clicking them. What's going on? Every time I read a comment, I click it. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. It worked. It says here, Lindy says the truth is police were too slow and that's why she escaped. Yes. I mean, it can't take that long to get her on a no-fly list, right? There's people that have been banned from no-flying in like an hour. So, the 3 days or whatever, it's long enough, right? Let's see. Which one? The one where you get all the alcohol or the one where you become a lawyer? Which one? Let us know, AJ. Hold on, I'm just checking for any more comments. Laura G says maybe a country coup brain injury. I mean, possibly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if your brain was scrambled after doing 400 flips in a car. Wouldn't be surprised. Wu says, what? Saw a tweet from the ACT police that said they got a person drink driving with the a back level of 0.300. What? They caught him a couple of days later. Oh my god. With a reading over 300. That's someone who is probably an alcoholic. Someone who drinks so much they can't feel it, and that they keep having a constant level in their body from drinking. How horrible. I heard there was a guy in Melbourne that had something similar. Cops caught him and then caught him the next week with a similar level. Sienna says, how could the friend get into trouble when there was no warrant for her arrest? Wait, what? How could the friend? Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I don't understand that. Why wouldn't she tell the company in China where he worked unless there was some connection to her? Unless she worked for the same company, or that family would be able to tell the police who she was and where she, like who her family were, so they'd have more leads on, on her. That's the only thing I can think of. Reby says there's some really famous cases in China where rich, young, connected children have tried to get away with killing someone. Yeah, there's the Red Bull heiress or heir killed someone in Taiwan and then has now escaped to another country where they're basically waiting for the statute of limitation to run out because it's only got a few years left on it. And there's nothing the other police can do. They're basically just hanging around waiting for it to not go to trial. And I'm pretty sure the Red Bull family paid out the victim's family some amount of money. I'm not sure how much it was, but some sort of money to make them not sue or bring a criminal case. But the police in that country brought the case anyway. And basically he or she, I can't remember if it's a boy or a girl, they're never going to front a trial for that murder because they're just never going to return. They're not going to return until the statute of limitation runs out on the death by, I think it was very similar. I think they killed someone with a car. They hit someone though. The person wasn't in the car. They hit them while driving, and the person was a policeman. And yeah, basically they're going to wait until it expires, and then that's it. Story over, and they'll never see prison time. It's very sad. AJ says, yeah, I had to tell my doc today that I drink every day. I need to cut back. I think everyone sort of got a little too loose with the whole drinking during the pandemic, because having a glass of wine or 2 or 3 was sort of very about the only luxury a lot of us had during the pandemic, was to have like an evening drink to kind of make the problems go away of the time. And sort of it's transitioned into daily life for a lot of people now, and it's hard to break that habit, especially when you used it for a de-stress thing during a stressful time. So I've seen a lot of people doing that. Oh, okay. Sienna says, I mean the friend who helped her get to the airport. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll find out. If they catch her somehow, we'll find out everything. AJ says, absolutely during the pandemic, TY for being so sympathetic. No, that's all right. I get it. I saw a lot of people going through that. I think we all did that. We all had a hard time during the pandemic. So, especially us in Melbourne, we went through like the longest lockdown in the world or whatever. Like 2 years, 2 winters completely in lockdown. Like 10 months of our lives over 2 years were spent in lockdown. Hold on. It's hailing. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it started to hail. Don't know if you guys can hear the hail, the storm behind me. It's not a very big storm, but it's got some hail. I can hear it. Diane says, I'm a lightweight, one drink and I want to sleep. I'm like that too these days. LA says, just make a real decision not to drive when drinking. Yep, I agree. I had a friend killed by a drink driver and it was terrible. So, hail of rain or snow? Rain. It's raining here. We don't get snow down here. No snow in Victoria. Oh, it does snow in some places, but not here. Not in Melbourne. What time is it? We might wrap it up. It's a good first show back. I appreciate everyone turning out. I didn't want to leave you guys for too long because you guys hadn't had a show for like 3 nights. And I felt really bad, even though I wasn't feeling 100%. But I wanted to at least come and hang out with you all for a little while and see what everyone was up to. Wu says, must have been terrible ping all that time in lockdown. It was interesting, you know. The hardest bit was when they banned more than one person going out per day. So down here they had a rule where you had to nominate one person to go out to do all the shopping and the bill paying and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people broke that rule, but we tried to stick by it as much as possible and send only one person at a time. It was really a hard thing to go through, but I'm glad we got through it. And the world is sort of better. I heard the USA might be going back to certain things from this winter. That's a shame. But Retired said, it's good to have a show. Glad you are feeling better. Yeah, same with Diane. Diane says, glad you're feeling better. I am feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. Yesterday, there's no way I could have put on a show. No way. I was really not well, and I was just didn't want to even set up the camera or nothing. I was like, no way. But it's good to start the week off with a bang. Cover like a bunch of stories that I hadn't had a chance to. A lot of these were supposed to be done on Sunday night, and I didn't get a chance because I didn't do the Sunday show, and so I wanted to catch up on them tonight. LA says my lockdown longest, I think next California, wrecked my psyche and my son too. He's only 22, was 19. Yeah, I think the young people and the school children had the hardest time. School kids they basically wiped out an entire year of learning. Very, very horrible. And especially for some of the kids who are doing like their final exams, they had a really difficult time. And I don't envy them what they went through. Everyone's saying, wishing you all well. Take care, Ping. Hope Mrs. Ping isn't sick too. No, she's all right. Lindy says, thank you, Ping. Thanks so much, Ping. Take care. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night. I'll be back tomorrow night with another show. Hopefully, I'll be feeling even better then, and we can do a longer show, an hour and a half. And it'll keep getting a little longer as we go in the week as I get better. And it was great to be back another night. It really was nice to see everyone and get back in the saddle, as they speak. It feels weird when haven't been on the air for so long. It feels like I get rusty. I don't know what to do anymore. But yeah, everyone have a great night. Great to see everyone. And to the replay crew, leave a comment. And to the people who help fund this channel, I really appreciate it. You guys rock. And yeah, as I said, next year I'm heading to the trial for the mushroom murders, as everyone calls it. And we'll be reporting live from the Supreme Court. As long as it gets to the Supreme Court, I'll be going. So it'll be an interesting year next year. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And if you have, thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow night. See you guys. Have a great night. Sleep well. And I'll be back here tomorrow night. We'll do another show. Thank you, everyone. See ya.